Cancer, Lunar babies, how you doing? Welcome to my channel, Adrian H here. Let's see what we've got for you. We're looking at love. I'm looking at what is that next step to take, What is it that's ahead for you? Now, obviously when we look at these sort of general readings, I like to compare it like almost like standing on a balcony somewhere and looking at a certain piece of area or town that you can say, guys, the sun is really shining in that area over there. So everybody that's in that space is going to experience that. But, obviously when we look at a personal reading, it becomes more personal. We look at your road, we look at your yard, we look at your address, we look at your home. Okay. So what is in alignment with you, what you're open to, accept it in your heart, and what you're not, Cancer, just, let's not make a big fuss about it. All right. So let's see what we've got for you. General message from the universe pertaining to love. Okay, now I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let's get it. Okay, ready. So it speaks about animals. And this speaks about the oneness of who you are, Cancer. All right? This is jumping straight into metaphysics. But this reminds you, this energy reminds you of the oneness of who you are. And it reminds you that you are an expression of love. We are all really an expression of love, Our consciousness is really love. And with love, you can do anything in this world. That is the beauty of love. Love doesn't have limits. Love creates more and more and more, and it creates different things, and it expresses itself in different ways. And the consciousness of love, it expresses us in human form, in animal form, in plant form, in everything that is around us, everything that seems solid, because nothing is really real. Everything is just an illusion. But when we stay with earthly terms, Cancer, it also speaks about, sort of like the animal spirits, the ancient spirits, all of life. It reminds us that we are part of absolutely everything, that we are not separate from one single thing on this planet. All right? It lets us know that everything is just really an expression. Everything is, technically speaking, assimilation. I'm assimilation, you're assimilation. We all just really part of this big program, really. And love is the driving force behind all of this, that unlimited potential of love. And when we make that beautiful connection with someone else, with a counterpart, that is when we really, in a way, get to celebrate that beautiful connection. And so for you, if you are challenged at the moment with a connection that you are in, or you maybe like to be in a connection, you are being encouraged to, within yourself. So we're not trying to fix the other person. That never ever works out. All right? Because life is an expression of you. So you are being encouraged, Cancer, to acknowledge first and foremost all of who you are. Basically to bring it home. Okay? And the way that you're encouraged to bring it home is to sort of really hone in on the truth of who you are. And when we look at things, whether you look at it from an energetic point of view, whether you're looking at it from a really scientific point of view, when we place anything really under a microscope, anything, when you zoom in on it long enough, you realize that there is nothing. There's absolutely nothing, and the fact that we are all nothing expressed as something, it shows us of the potential that love has to create beautiful things in this world. And it speaks of the potential of what you can create. So where you are right now, Cancer, you are being reminded that whatever the desire of your heart may be, especially if this happens to be romantic love, that as you can really bring it back to your own divinity, the truth of who you are, that it opens multiple doors for you. Because as human beings, we've been programmed throughout life for such a long period of time that we're not good enough, that we're not strong enough, that, that there's certain different levels, these people are above you, these people are beneath you, dating up, dating down, that sort of thing. But when when we can really come from that point that everything is just an expression of us, that everything around you is a reflection of your inner world. Sometimes we like that, sometimes we really don't like that. But when you can come to a point where you can really, even on the smallest bit, buy into that and open your heart and mind and soul to that, that is when that inner sort of light that is within you, that beauty of who you are, it just shines forth. You don't even have to try to make it shine. It shines on its own because you are energy that is celebrating itself being energy, itself being infinite, itself having multiple possibilities, itself being love. And when you express that from yourself, it's a kind of thing that you can't really fake. You either are there or you're not there. If you're there, fantastic, you know. And if you're there, you would know. If you're not there, you would know that you're not there because you would wonder whether you're there. And it's fine if you're not there. Practice breathing, practice stillness. Because what you want to have, Cancer, is you want to, if real, true, beautiful, lasting love is really what you are after. And when a Cancerian, typical Cancer, or you've got strong energy of Cancer in your chart, or if you're cross-watching, please also always cross-watch with the intention for positive vibes. What can you know about this person better so you can, sort of like assist them better or love them better and respect them better, understand them better. But when you get to this point where you really can grasp this fullness of who you are and you can really wrap your arms around that, then you become that magnet that can draw absolutely anything to yourself. And you don't even have to be concerned about maybe attracting a love that is not a good love and is going to be a low vibing sort of person, because when you come from that real pure radiation of love, you are a magnet for that. You are a conduit for it. It flows through you, and that is the message that you give out into the world. And 95% of our communication happens on a subconscious level. Body language, sense and smells and little subtle movements that we're not always aware of. And when you can get that about yourself, how amazing you are, you wouldn't have to go look for love. Somebody might be busy packing their bags and you say, you know what, I'm just going to focus on me right now. As you do that, they realize like, maybe I might be missing out on something over here. Okay. Let's see what our cosmic mother, the moon, has got to say about all of this, Cancer. Oopsie doopsie. Sorry. Oh, beautiful. There's more than one choice available in how you can experience the beautiful scent of love. So if you're that one like boom, 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 I want to have that, perfect. If you want to be the more mellow vibe, perfect. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. So you may be at a space where you kind of felt that, oh my goodness, everything just feels like it's spread all over the place and you don't know what's happening and it's here and it's there and it's here and it's there and that sort of thing. But I feel that for many of you, you're in that space where you might have already started to light up. Now, also the thing to remember is that the energy of Cancer it's a very enigmatic sort of energy. It's an energy that draws you in any case. And a lot of times Cancerians, you may be complaining about this because maybe all you prefer is to be left alone at this particular point in time, and yet you get all these influxes of energy that keeps on stepping into your life, and you might be like, I don't really want that. It makes me uncomfortable. But I feel that for some of you, it's almost like there might have been, now a typical thing about Cancer is that you're usually tripping on somebody, one way or the other. If you're not with someone in a beautiful connection yet at this typical point in time. And if you are, and if you've got no doubts whatsoever about the person that you are with, you would not really be watching this reading unless you maybe got other reasons other than love. Because when Cancer find that beautiful counterpart that, that works for you, Cancer, you don't really need to look any further. Supermodels could be walking naked around you. You couldn't be faced in the slightest because once your heart connects, your heart beautifully connects. And I feel that for some of you, there's a lot of chapters that were maybe closing recently that you realize that those were not maybe the chapters for you, but then I want to call it a process of elimination, but it sounds a little hectic. But, from that space of realizing who you are not the best match for and who's not the best match for you, maybe one or two people are beginning to stand out, or maybe that one or two people are beginning to come in now into your space where you've got a lesser sort of spectrum to work with. But I feel that for some of you, you might be a little bit in a sense of, do I go this way, or sort of like, do I go that way sort of thing. There is that little bit of a sense of uncertainty. Let's get you some clarity on that. So these three cards just came out. You've got the Five of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. Okay, so some of you are still very concerned, very afraid. I also feel that for some of you, it's almost like a lot of the disappointments of the past, especially in love or when you trusted other people. This could also be broader, like in your job and friends and family and those things. But I feel that that Cancer, you're in that space where you're almost like, but I trusted you. I didn't think that you would do something that would hurt me. I placed my faith in you. So one, there could be a lesson over there, because sometimes when we do those things, many times when we do those things, especially you Cancer, because remember, you are naturally very intuitive. And sometimes, we get to that space of like, I trusted you. And then as the argument continues, like, I had a feeling I shouldn't do this. I had a feeling I shouldn't do this. I knew this wasn't the right thing to do. But you still went ahead and did it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel for many of you, there's a lot of that that's coming up at this particular point in time, where you're getting that confrontation, where you're getting that sort of like that feeling, communication, and those type of things that are coming through for you. But in the same token, Cancer, it's also as those things that are coming up, I feel that you're realizing like, okay, so this was a thought and a belief and something that I had at the time, not really what I want to have at the moment anymore, and release. Okay? So you might feel that maybe you're thinking, say, maybe about the person that you were with before, maybe quite a bit at this particular point in time. And the thing is, obviously, when we miss someone, we don't always sort of miss them specifically. We miss what they brought into our lives. We miss the experiences that they brought. We miss the how they made us feel, the little things they did. You think like, oh, this person would have done that now, they would have done that now, and your heart melts. And, obviously Cancer, for you as a fellow Cancerian myself, it's very difficult to let go of someone sometimes, because when you open your heart to another person, you open your heart with the intention that you're going to be with them forever. You're not like, okay, I'm going to give this thing a bit of a try and see how this is going to go. You open your heart fully. And it's almost impossible for many of you sometimes to sort of move away from that space where you are not with a person, because it's like a new possibility that you have to accept in your mind, and it's difficult. It's very, very challenging. With the Queen of Cups over there, though, some of you might have said, you know what, I am done with love. I'm done with it, not going to go there anymore. Never, ever, ever, never. It's like, what is that song by, what's her name, Taylor Swift? I will never, never, never. I'm definitely off tune there, but probably not even off tune. It's a completely wrong melody there to start with. But, some of you were there, you were like, never, 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 never. But the question to also ask, and I feel that some of you are getting to that point at the moment, sometimes when we get that space where we say never, 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 it's because we're feeling like this, and we don't want to feel like this. We want to feel like this. We want some joy to just come into our life. And then when it does, the heart says, I'd appreciate some love. This is what the heart is calling for. And I feel that you are very willing, Cancer, to put in some work, to maybe make some effort. Maybe you're one of those people that said, I am not one to compromise. I want life the way that I want it. But I feel that for some of you, and it might be with a particular person that you are dealing with, and if you are, and you maybe also look at that person's tarot, it could really help you to their reading. But obviously always look at a reading of another person, another energy, with the intention of how can I benefit from doing that? How can I, and benefit in the sense of how can I understand that person better? How can I love them better? How can I get where they are at better at the moment? Because when you get that, then you sometimes understand that maybe it's not just you, maybe it's also them. Maybe they're going through challenges in their life at the moment. But I feel that you're at that space, Cancer, where you're saying, you know what? I'm ready to give love another try. Yes, I was done with the boat, but can you come back again? You know, I can't do that, Russell. But even though I grew up in the country, I can't. But you know, you're like, I'm ready to give this another chance, type of thing. Okay. And I feel for many of you with the Nine of Wands there, it might be that you just feel the energy of love resurging within yourself. But I also feel for many of you that you were done with someone, like you were about as done as you can be done with. Like you, people didn't have to say that person's name, you know. Sorry. Where you were like, you know, I am so done with them. Never, ever, 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 ever want to hear about them again. And for some of you, there might have been a period where there was a time apart. But maybe the time apart was really necessary because maybe that person needed it. And maybe you needed it more than you yourself may have actually realized. Okay, let's look at some of the dark things that you are dealing with that might be holding you back at the moment. Challenges at this point in time, Cancer. So we have got, so the Two of Cups came underneath the Six of Swords, and then you've got the Five of Swords. So I feel that for many of you, Cancer, there might have been something beautiful with a person, or something that you felt was going in a positive direction with another person. You felt it was a new beginning there with double one and the new moon. You know, we thought we're gonna go forward in life, and you felt that this was going to be your person, this was going to be your connection, this was going to be your flow of life and your flow of love. You know, this is what many of you felt. You saw that person, you opened your heart, you felt the time was right, all the sort of gears were shifting, and you really believed that this I feel that you accepted that new beginning within yourself, that this was the one. That for many of you, it might have actually felt that that person was more reaching out towards you for love, you know. So, and you were a happy recipient to have a connection of love with this person, because here they were, and like, oh my goodness, you know, so beautiful. And I feel where you are at the moment, again, there with the Six of Swords, this is a space of saying, okay, how can we do things better? How can we do it differently this time? Because where that was a new beginning there with the new moon, this is a full moon. And sometimes, you know, and a full moon is all about that full energy. And so sometimes, you know, we feel when we separate from another person, or, you know, they ghosted you or whatever happened, that it's never ever going to happen again. That the ship has sailed and that ship is about as gone could possibly be. But when we go all the way back to the very beginning of our reading, when we're speaking about the oneness of consciousness, we're all just one consciousness. Nothing is ever really gone from you. It's almost like you needed to find a sense of peace within yourself before you were with someone else. And I feel a reconciliation here for those of you that are open to that, Cancer. But in the same token, I feel that there is the invitation to want to maybe go and speak about the past. Do you know how you made me feel? I need you to understand how you made me feel. This takes you straight back to that moment of separation that I'm pretty sure that you all don't want to have. Okay, let's get some additional guidance for you using a different deck. Using the Triple Goddess Tarot. And something funny is happening with my lip. I had a whole bowl of strawberries, that could be it. I got up to just go and put on nice thick socks because it's very chilly in Cape Town today. And I ended up having like a whole lot of strawberries, which was so yummy. One of my Reiki students bought it for me. I was like, yay, you stole my heart. Okay. So what we have is we have got divine intervention here with the Ace of Swords. We've got the Sun, which is the highest vibrational card in the tarot deck. And then we've got the Seven of Wands. Now, my stomach is growling. Maybe I should go actually have some solid food. And I tried to lunch strawberries. But I feel that for many of you, Cancer, you're sort of like about to align there with the truth of what things actually are. You may feel that you had a certain way of understanding how things are, and maybe you place a lot of that at the other person's door, but maybe you're coming to realize in this reconciliation that maybe there were some ways that you contributed to the situation. And maybe you dealt with someone that didn't know how to communicate it to you, or maybe thought that you weren't that open to it, and so it wasn't communicated to you. All right, so you're getting to see how you played a part in what transpired, and I feel that somehow though that is very freeing, incredibly freeing. Okay, because with understanding comes a sense of freedom, and I feel that there are certain topics that weren't discussed in this connection, which probably would have been better off being discussed. That you felt that, I thought I dropped some more cards, but I didn't. That you felt that were, sort of more discussed, could have been discussed better. And I feel now that it's almost like this connection is taking a little bit of, when something goes forward, we speak about things, and then we move forward into the next phase of sort of high level commitment. Now I feel for some of you it headed in that direction, but then certain things that needed to be said maybe weren't being said. And I do feel though, Cancer, that one of the reasons why certain things weren't said is because you weren't hearing them. You weren't open to hearing them, so either they were said and you're like, no, or the other person just didn't say them because you were not really open to hearing them, so there's no point there. And then, so there with the Seven of Wands for you, you may have felt that you're fighting all these many things in that person, all these many things, but you're getting to see how it might have been you, how maybe there was some inner child healing that was still required from you, or maybe some alignment that would have benefited the connection. Okay, things were not as done as you thought they were. Now, getting you a crystal oracle card that just fell out. It's actually one of my favorite, which is an amazing one. But this is the crystal energy that you can open yourself to. You can either work with the crystal itself, you may want to buy the crystal, or you can also just really read up about the energy and be open to aligning with the energy of this crystal. But you got Shutakai, teacher. Okay, there's some lessons that you needed to learn, and sometimes a separation, when you say that you want to have this beautiful connection with someone else and you want it to be beautiful and divine and incredible and fantastic, sometimes it's necessary for you to learn difficult lessons so you can turn that mirror upon yourself and you can see what is it in you that is almost like detrimental to this connection if it does work out. And when we get that, that is when you can go forward in beauty, in love, and in light. All right. So I hope that benefited you, Cancer. If you would be so kind as to like the video, I'd really appreciate that. Comments are always welcome. I want to thank you all for the beautiful donations that you are making that helps to support my channel, which means absolutely everything for me. I thank you from my heart. If it resonates with you, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel, to hit that notification bell so you know when the readings are coming out. If you are interested in having a personal reading with me, or maybe a regression hypnosis session or NLP Life Coaching, you are more than welcome to send me an email. My email address is down below. If you would like to learn to read the tarot for yourself, you can sign up for my detailed online tarot reading course with lifetime access via the Udemy platform. And it's a nice entry sort of level into manifestation and the law of attraction and all those type of things. And it really is a beautiful foundation for my next course that I'm working on at the moment, which is Psychic Development for Life Success, which is just going to be fantastic. So, namaste, love and light. See you next time.